Cleaning the planet is an ongoing challenge. As we move towards our target for renewable energy, the country's largest vertically integrated geothermal company developed potent measures to attain net zero carbon emissions among businesses and forge collaborative pathways for a decarbonized and regenerative future. Human-caused greenhouse gas emissions are a continuing global issue due to its being a primary driver of climate change. According to the World Meteorological Organization's annual Greenhouse Gas Bulletin, the abundance of heat-trapping greenhouse gases in the atmosphere once again reached a new record in 2020.
As the Philippines' carbon emissions is approximately less than 1% of the world's total carbon emissions. So it's relatively smaller compared to other countries, even in the ASEAN region, and even more so compared to industrialized countries.
But while the country's share in global emissions is a virtual drop in the bucket, the Climate Change Commission acknowledges the urgency to minimize this contribution.
While our share in global emissions is a virtual drop in the bucket, we are one of the most affected and vulnerable countries in terms of extreme weather and disasters. And our highest emitting sectors are energy, transport, agriculture, waste, and industry.
Taking the necessary actions that would prepare the country for massive shifts in how the world works, the country's largest renewable energy company launched an initiative that enables institutions to put their businesses on a sustainable path and beyond. Tell us why it's important for businesses to actually be involved in net zero emissions in the Philippines and in a global context.
We feel that businesses can play a big role in decarbonization. As you know, businesses have carbon footprint, and we are committed in reducing this footprint. Net Zero Carbon Alliance is a part of the Energy Development Corporations to create partnerships and collaboration towards decarbonization.
This entails balancing the global carbon dioxide emissions and collective carbon dioxide removal efforts over a specific period.
There are two basic strategies in NESCA. One is to reduce the carbon emission level of the member companies through renewable energy, energy efficiency, and other measures. The other strategy is to be able to offset the remaining carbon emission that you cannot anymore avoid.
Having started as a small group of companies, the Net Zero Carbon Alliance has now grown to more than 10 members from developers.
Our company is a founding member of the Net Zero Carbon Alliance. We joined it because we think it's a very important part of our journey.
This going for net zero is really a partnership, and by doing that, we can actually achieve our goals faster.
It's a crucial point in transforming a whole market, because one developer can only go so much, but with a whole supply chain can actually bring to our goal to net zero.
Food and beverage industry.
We understood the value of creating a platform for the private sector to work with other private sector groups as well as government and NGOs and communities in order to start their own carbon reduction journeys.
To manufacturing and utility sector.
Our mission is really to serve the underserved and unserved areas, and we want to ensure that we embed all of our sustainability values into those processes.
This is the first attempt to include other companies to work together and to share best practices and help one another in their commitment to achieve net zero and carbon neutrality.
Capitalizing on the company's reputation as a global, diversified, renewable power company, the Net Zero Carbon Program was designed to provide partners a framework to achieve carbon neutrality. by scaling up carbon emission reduction and tracking and providing better access to green financing, among many other capacity-building tools, which starts by calculating their carbon footprint.
Our activities, our operations is causing the increase in temperature, is creating the problem. So we have to be part of the solution.
Initiatives like this one, I think make a difference because they raise awareness. People are learning from others, sharing their experiences, perhaps their mistakes.
Fueled by its mission to be the Philippine private sector's guiding force toward achieving carbon neutrality, the Net Zero Carbon Alliance will collaborate with as many organizations that all commit to becoming carbon neutral in or before 2050.
During the anniversary, the Climate Change Commission expressed support to NESCA in terms of providing the enabling policy conditions to encourage more businesses in the Philippines to commit to carbon neutrality and to net zero. And the other expectation is that the government can provide technology options in terms of bringing down carbon emission and also in the offset strategies.
As we enter a world powered by clean energy, there's no doubt every industry will need to reduce its carbon footprint, which can be achieved with guidance from one of today's most potent programs that can serve as a trailblazer in this respect. Join us again next week as we share more inspiring stories of communities and people whose lives have changed for the better. For comments, suggestions, and updates, do follow us on our website and social media accounts. I'm Pinky Webb, and this is Business Matters, where doing good is good business.